Hello friends, here we are with our monthly Facebook message, and this month I'm very pleased to have with me Amber Wsiaki. Amber has been involved in working with the youth within our church for a long time in different roles and responsibilities in terms of catechism, youth ministry, all that area. And actually, at the beginning of April, at the Caritas supper, so this is the supper organized by the Catholic Foundation of Manitoba, and every year they gather to honor people who have contributed to the Catholic community in Manitoba. And so this year, it was centered on organizations and people who are involved with the youth, with young people. And Amber was honored with the Caritas Award, and she was the guest presenter that evening. How did it feel, Amber, to receive that award?
It was a really big honor. I'm not working in the church so that I can get recognition, but when there is official recognition like that, it feels really good, and it's a different kind of confirmation.
Good. And in her presentation that evening, Amber, in a very succinct form, but a very rich content, gave some wonderful insights into what youth ministry, or ministry with young adults, ministry with the young can look like or should be like in our parish. Could you share some ideas with that?
I started by sharing that there are no quick fixes with youth and young people. We all know the reality. There are significantly fewer young people in our churches today than 20 years ago, 40 years ago. But youth ministry takes time. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we need to get to know the young people. We need to learn their names. We need to ask them about their lives. And let's say someone's in a situation where they're at the same church every week and they see the same young people every week. Well, that's a perfect opportunity to learn the names of the young people, find out about what's going on in their lives, and follow up with them the following week. How did your soccer game go? How was your dance recital? It's about building relationships and checking in on them and being a support to them in their faith community.
And it's not so much ministry for the young, but ministry, or even about the young, but it's ministry with the young, isn't it? It's about accompanying, not to convert or change to our ways, but really the richness that they are and bring at this point in their life. I'm sure you've seen that many times.
Yes, and I think accompaniment is the perfect word, because it's not, like you said, it's not accompaniment to get to an end goal. It's journeying with someone throughout their life. And that's one of the beauties of our Catholic Church, is that it's not like schools or like sports clubs where you age out. You can be part of a community for decades.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really beautiful. And so I like to encourage people to try and find creative ways to involve youth in things that are already happening. Like youth ministry doesn't just have to be Friday night pizza.
No.
If they're like, for example, pancake breakfasts. I know a lot of parishes, they run pancake breakfasts, and the team of volunteers that does that, it's a well-oiled machine, and they've all got the roles and they know what they're doing. But I think there's a way that we can include youth in activities like that. It's just that it takes time, right? Teaching someone to do something for the first time and helping them do it the second time and third time, it will go slower and it will kind of interrupt the flow. But if people are willing to put the time in, then those youth will see that they have a place in the community. And
are able to participate.
Yeah.
And who knows, one or the other of them may have learned at home to flip pancakes perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfectly. So, that whole sense of being part of the family, part of the team, being valued for, and maybe not just for what they can do, but for who they are.
Yes.
Who they are.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there too where it's important that we not criticize young, kids these days and get caught up in things like that. There's a lot of young people that they're still just trying to find their place, and so to show them that respect and get to know who they are and to not dismiss how they spend their time or how they spend their money, but really just accept them as they are.
You were telling me that story about the kid with the hoodie and the jeans?
Yes. I know a lot of people, like when I grew up, I was taught to dress a certain way for Sunday Mass, and a lot of people still hold that value, and that's okay, but kids these days, they come to Mass however they are, and I think it's important to not judge them on their appearances. There's one Easter Vigil, a young, I think he was about 14 years old, he wanted to help at the Easter Vigil, and he'd already been helping at Sunday Masses, so he understood altar serving, but at that time, altar servers in our parish didn't wear the robes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Easter Vigil, he knows what he's doing, so he showed up, and I told him, like, this is a big deal, and Easter Vigil is a big celebration, and he shows up in jeans and a hoodie.
Okay.
And I was personally a little disappointed. I thought I had told him it was a big celebration, but I was like, I'm not going to get caught up on what he's wearing. We're just going to go over the tasks, and I'll orient him and get him ready for Mass. And in the middle of, like, going over some of his responsibilities, he asked me, he's like, Amber, do you like my jeans and my hoodie? And I'm like, yeah, they're nice. And he's like, I just got them today. They're brand new. I knew today was a special occasion, so I wanted to dress nicely. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I really can't judge young people on how they're dressed because I have no idea what's dressed up for them and what's casual for them.
And how they show that things are important for them. And never devalue that. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, so that's more like with teenagers. Do you have any thoughts, ideas around, the accompaniment of young adults? As you know, this year for our Chrism Mass, we focused or we highlighted young adults. Every year it's a different group, and this year it was young adults, and I put that at 20 to 45. And then quickly reassured anybody older that they were young of heart. But anyway, but 20 to 45. So the years of, university or college, Red River, the years of getting one's first job, of perhaps marrying, perhaps having children, starting a family. So, the 20 to 45-year-olds. Any thoughts about how to accompany them in the church?
I think a big part for young adults is to try and be sensitive to their situation, aware of what they're going through. Like I remember when I was in university, studying full time, you've got a job on the side and dating someone. There's a lot going on, and in a way you could say it's an unstable time in a person's life because they're trying to set themselves up as adults and figure things out and just kind of get through and figure out where they're going. And so for young adults, you have young adults who are full-time university students with 2 jobs on the side. You have young adults who are getting married, young adults who are having children. And those are all very busy and different experiences. And so when I hear, they won't commit to whatever.
Being there Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, doing this task. They
don't get back to me, they're unreliable. It's like, well, okay, but what's going on in their lives that they, they have other priorities and so if we can, again, welcome and accept them when they're there and not criticize when we don't see them or criticize when they seem like they won't commit. I think there's a lot more to what they go through in a day and in a week and in a month.
And I find that if we take the time and really try to do that we will learn so much from them as they're navigating life. They have so much to teach us, so much to teach us. Every once in a while I'm just, wow, what that young person just said or did, that was so mature, so generous of self. Maybe I should pick up my game. Okay. No, but seriously.
But yes, they do. They teach us a lot, and it's in those interactions. Some interactions where they say something, and I'm like, oh, okay, like God is really working in their life, and we just don't always see that because that's a very personal experience.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very, very much, Amber, for these thoughts and reflections as in our parishes, parish councils, parents, but also other people interested in being with youth to think about us, how we perceive and craft ministry with young people. We're really lucky because Amber is, before she was working for Saint-Martyrs, and now because our full-time or permanent youth minister, Isa, is going on a maternity leave, then Amber is going to be working here at the diocesan level, pastoral services, full-time, working for youth ministry. So I encourage you, if you have questions or observations, she's on the job even now, and so don't hesitate to phone her. You're going to be a great addition to our diocesan team here, and so thank you very much, Amber. Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
Thank you.